Hello everyone, I'm Sonali Pawar. This is our fourth lecture of AVE, Audio Video Engineering. We were seeing the chapter 1, that is Fundamentals of Television. In last lecture, we have seen the NTSC transmitter and receiver. What is actually NTSC? That is National Television System Committee. We have gone through the basic block diagrams of NTSC transmitter or NTSC encoder and NTSC decoder, that is receiver. We have seen how that particular NTSC system works and how we get at the output color picture by using that NTSC system. Today we will see PAL system. Okay, this PAL system, where PAL stands for phase alternating line. This PAL system, that is phase alternating line system, is a color encoding system for analog televisions and was created in 1961 in the United Kingdom. Okay, it is a color encoding system for color television, analog television. Sorry, it features 624 horizontal lines per frame with a rate of 25 frames per second. We have seen these horizontal lines. What are the standards for that? That is, it features a 624 horizontal lines for, and its rate is 25 frames per second. PAL is used in broadcast television system in many countries and is one of the three major broadcast standards along with the NTSC and SCCAM. In this we have seen NTSC system in last lecture. These are nothing but the broadcast standards: NTSC system, PAL system and SECAM system, which we will see in next lecture. So this is the second type, that is PAL system, which is phase alternating line. Similar to the NTSC system, phase alternating line makes use of quadrature amplitude modulated subcarrier, which carries the chrominance data added to the video signal. Means here also, for the purpose of modulation, we are using a subcarrier signal, and after modulation it becomes quadrature amplitude modulated subcarrier signal, which carries the chrominance data and added to the video signal. Whatever the video signal we are having, and that chrominance data is being added to that particular signal, that is nothing but the quadrature amplitude modulated subcarrier signal. The frequency of PAL is 4.43361,875. It is also with a precision, that is megahertz, while it is 3.579545 megahertz for NTSC. We have seen in last lecture whatever the frequency for NTSC was 3.579545 megahertz, and here it is, get the difference. It is very precise. The frequency is given, each and every point of that frequency is very precise, so it's there is so little difference. 4.43361,875 megahertz for PAL. The PAL scans the cathode ray tube 625 times horizontally to form the video image. We have seen the scanning, we have seen different types of scanning and how that scanning process is done in the video signal, that also we have seen. Here this PAL system scans that particular cathode ray tube, whatever is present at that particular receiver, 625 times horizontally to form the video image. This is similar to SECAM system. It same process occurs in the SECAM system, which we will see in next lecture. The PAL makes use of screen resolution of 720 into 576 pixels. That's it, screen resolutions. PAL video can be converted to NTSC with the addition of extra frames. Okay, we are adding this PAL video, it can be converted to the NTSC, addition of extra frames. We have to simply add the extra frames because the frequency of both the system is different. This can be done with techniques such as adaptive motion interpolation or interfield interpolation. By using these two interpolation system, we can do that. We can convert that PAL video into NTSC video system. Compared to the NTSC, PAL has a more detailed picture due to the higher number of scan lines. Here are higher number of scan lines, so it is a more clear picture, because how many scan lines we are scanning, number of scan lines we are scanning, the picture will be more clear. Okay, जितने ज़्यादा numbers होंगे for the purpose of scanning, that particular picture will be clear, because it will be scanning each and every fine details of that particular picture. If particular line is having 5 scanning lines, for example, consider one system is having 5 scanning line and one system is having 10 scanning line. What will happen in first case? Only 5 scanning lines means it will scan in 5 different points or 5 different lines, and in second type, in 10 scanning line, it will scan 10 scan lines. Same picture the particular system is scanning, both the systems are scanning the same picture. Only in the first it will scan in 5 lines, and in second it will scan the 10 lines of that particular picture. Then what will happen in the second scanning line, where we are having 10 scanning line, we will find details of that particular image or picture will be scanned properly, because number of scanning lines are increased. So compared to the NTSC, PAL is having more detailed picture and more clear picture. Additionally, hues are more stable in PAL than the NTSC system. The higher level of contrast and better color reproduction are also present in PAL system. Okay. Automated color correction is possible in PAL system, unlike to the NTSC system, which makes use of manual color correction. In fact, PAL is considered to have better picture quality than NTSC. As we have seen in the last point, there are more scanning lines in PAL than NTSC, so it is having more detailed, more clear picture. That's why the quality is better in the PAL than the NTSC, and higher level of contrast and better color reproduction is also present, means we can provide higher level of contrast to that. You might have seen in your television box, you can change the contrast of that particular screen, or you can change the brightness, you can change the color, just like that. Better color reproduction means we can produce the color properly, whatever to whatever index we want, whatever the quantity we want, we can change there, and contrast also we can change, so that whatever the PAL system is having better output than the NTSA system. It is more clear, it is more proper, we can see it properly each and every fine line, we can have more color productivity, we can have more contrast. That's why PAL is better than the NTSA system. However, PAL has a slower frame rate. Okay, whatever the frame rate of PAL is very slower, resulting in motion not being as smooth. As it is very slow motion or very slow frame rate, whatever the motion, that is not smooth, because in the video we are having the motion of that particular video, no, so that its motion is not smooth, and saturation varies at times between the frames. Whenever one particular frame is changing, there appears a saturation, because it is having very slow frame rate. This is the drawback of PL system. The picture itself can appear to flicker at a time. Sometimes that picture can flicker because it is having slow frame rate, and the saturation varies in between the change of the frames. NTSC holds an edge over PAL when it comes to smoother pictures, especially when high speed footage due to its higher frame rate. Means here NTSC is better. Okay, NTSC is better than PL when it comes to the smoother picture, especially high speed footage. For the high speed footage, PL cannot provide a very high speed footage, because it is having slower frame rate, and every time the saturation varies at times between the changing of the frame. That's why NTSC is better in that point. Now we will see PAL encoder. What is actually the PAL encoder, and what are the blocks present in that PAL encoder? As you can see in the diagram, the first is from the video camera. Whatever you will capture in that particular video camera, there will be 3 signals, R, G and B signals. It will be given to Y matrix section here. Okay, after that Y signal will be given to the delay section. We have to provide some of the delay to that Y signal. R and B signal will be given to UV matrix section, so that it will produce U and V signal, U and V signal will be directly given to the modulator box, but Y signal is given by applying delay line or delay section in between the Y signal. After that, U is given to the modulator and V is also given to the another modulator. We are having two modulators here. Okay, one modulator and two modulator, U modulator and V modulator. U for U signal and V for V signal. We are using two balanced modulator here. After that, we are having color subcarrier generator, sync pulse generator. Whatever that particular pulse we are getting, it will be given as input to that modulators, and whatever the modulated signal we will get, that will be added at the added section. Now we will see details about the PAL encoder or transmitter diagram. The functional diagram, as we have seen before, PAL coder, the gamma corrected R, G and B signals are matrix to form a Y and the weighted color difference signals. Okay, they are given to the matrix to form the Y signal and color difference signal. The bandwidth of both is B minus Y and R minus Y. That is the bandwidth of the two color difference signals. Video signals are restricted to about 1.3 megahertz by appropriate low pass filters. We are passing it through low pass filters and we are restricting its frequency to 1.3 megahertz. In this process, this signal suffers a small delay relative to the Y signal because they are passed to the low pass filter, and they while passing through the low pass filter, they will appear as very low or very small delay line, but U was not having any delay line, it was not passed through any low pass filter, so we have to add a delay section in. Y was not having any low pass filter, Y will not pass through any low pass filter, so it will be having a delay section to produce a delay in Y, so that all these three will be having the same delay. In order to compensate for this delay, a delay line is inserted in the path of Y signal, as I told before, just to get all the three signals the same delay. That particular delay line, double sideband suppressed carrier signal, the double sideband suppressed carrier signal from the modulators are added to yield the quadrature amplitude modulated signal. Okay, means whatever the signal we are having, the DSB-SC signal from the modulators, we are having the two modulators, DSB-SC signal from the two modulators, they will be added to yield the quadrature amplitude modulated chrominance signal. We want to have the quadrature amplitude modulated chrominance signal. This passes through a filter which removes harmonics of the subcarrier frequency and restricts the upper and lower sidebands to its appropriate values. Okay, means of when this signal, that is quadrature amplitude modulated chrominance signal, we pass it through a filter, then it will remove the whatever the harmonics are present of the subcarrier frequency, and it will restrict the upper and lower frequency to a appropriate value. Means whatever value we want to that particular frequency, these two side bands upper and lower will be restricted in this particular block. The output of the filter feeds into an adder circuit. After that, as we have seen, we will add the output of that particular mixer to the adder circuit. When it combines with the luminance and sync signal to form a composite color video signal, whatever we want at output is nothing but the composite color video signal. When that particular signal is added with the luminance and sync signal, it will form a composite video signal. This is nothing but the PAL encoder. Notice that the color burst signal is also fed to the modulators along with the U and V signals through the adders. Okay, modulators having two inputs, we are providing that U and V signal, and then we are providing this color burst signal also in the modulator through the adder. The burst signals are obtained from the circuits that feed the color subcarrier signal to the two modulators. Okay, whatever the two signal we are having, that we obtain from the circuit that feed the color subcarrier to the two modulators. Then however, before feeding the burst signal to the U and V adders, these are passed through the separate burst gates. Each burst gate is controlled by delayed pulse at FH rate and obtained from the frequency dividing circuits. The gating pulses appear during the back poach period. In this, thus during this interval, the B minus Y, that is color frequency of color bandwidth of color difference signal, that is U modulator, yields a subcarrier burst along minus U, while the R minus, that is V modulator, gives a burst of the same amplitude but having a phase shift of 90 degree on alternate lines relative to the minus U phasor. At the output of the two modulator, the two burst components combine in the adder to yield the output, which is the vector sum of the two burst inputs. One burst input, that is the output of modulator, and one burst input, that is the output of second modulator. U modulator output and V modulator output, that is added after that. This is a subcarrier sine wave, that is 10 cycles at 45 degree on one line and minus 45 degree on the next line with the reference U phasor. This was all about the PAL encoder that we have done. In that, we have taken the outputs from the video camera RGB, that we are giving it the signals to the Y matrix section, which will provide output as Y signal. Then R and B signal we will give to the U and V matrix section, which will give output as a U and V. Then it will pass through a band pass filter. As they pass through a band pass filter, and which will restrict its frequency to 1.5 megahertz, then while passing through the band pass filters, V and U signals are having some of the delay line, so as to produce the same delay line into the Y signal. Because Y is not being passed through the band pass filter, we have to produce the same delay line into the Y signal. We are providing a delay section. Then we are giving that U signal to the U modulator, that is balanced modulator, and V signal to the V modulator, V balanced modulator, and color burst signal also we are providing to the particular U modulator and V modulator. After that, they are added at the output of the modulator as an adder section, and whatever we will get at the output is composite color video signal. This is all about the PAL encoder. Getting the concept of PAL encoder? Okay. Now we will see PAL decoder, that is at the receiver side. Decoder is at the receiver side for the purpose of decoding the same signal and decoding the signal that is transmitted through the encoder and getting the same signal that was transmitted from the transmitter. This is the diagram of PAL decoder, okay, which consists of, from VIF stage, means we are having composite color video signal at the output of encoder, that is given to the video detector. Okay, after that, Y amplifier, we will provide a delay line. After that, 3.5 megahertz chroma amplifier, here a chrominance signal will be separated, and color killer circuit is also we are using here. Line synchronous identification is also done. Subcarrier frequency generator also we are having here, 4.4361875 megahertz, as we have seen before. That particular subcarrier frequency is having very precise value as in the NTSC. Then we are having the two detectors. Detectors has nothing but the demodulators we are using for the purpose of processing exactly opposite process of modulators. And at the output we will get the three signals, whatever we have captured at the video signal, and that will be seen on the screen of the television. Now we will see in detail. Here, PAL decoder. The block diagram of PAL decoder is shown as above. The modulated signal is applied at its input, and the primary color signal R, G and B are obtained at the output of that particular block. We have seen here. This modulated signal is applied at here, that is from VIF stage, and at the output we have seen R, G and B signals. Okay. These signals are applied to the color picture tube to reproduce the colored picture, whatever the process will be done in the color picture tube. The PAL decoder is similar to the NTSC decoder, which an additional 64 microsecond delay line, okay, where we add only an additional 64 microsecond delay line, except it is not done in the NTSC decoder. Here in the PAL decoder we are providing that additional 64 microseconds of delay line. An electronic switch operated by the color burst which is separated from the received signal. Electronic switch will reverse the phase of the subcarrier that is applied to the V detector on every alternating line. The modulated signal received at the input is passed through the video detector which modulates it to obtain the composite color video signal. Now let us see the luminance signal Y is applied to Y amplifier which is wideband video amplifier with a bandwidth of 5 megahertz. Okay, Y signal is applied to via video. What will do video detector? It will find the it will differentiate or it will separate the two signals, the luminance signal Y and chroma signal. It will separate the two signals. That luminance signal Y is given to the Y amplifier. That Y amplifier is a wideband video amplifier. Its bandwidth is 5 megahertz. Then that further Y, after passing through the Y amplifier, that Y signal we will pass it through a delay line and directly it will be given to the RGB matrix that was shown in the diagram. As you can see in the first block, video detector. After the video detector we are having two signals. One is Y signal that is passed through the Y amplifier, then delay line, and then it is given to the RGB matrix. And chroma signal, that 3.5 megahertz chroma amplifier, we are passing that chroma signal through that chroma amplifier. Now let us see the color subcarrier and its sidebands are separated by using 3.5 megahertz amplifier. That chroma signal we are applying to the that particular 3 to 5 megahertz chroma amplifier. What will do that chroma amplifier? That the color subcarrier and its sidebands will be separated in that color chroma amplifier. This amplifier will allow only color burst signal and the chroma signal to pass through it. What will be done? Only color burst and chroma signal, because it is a chroma amplifier, so only these two color will pass through it. The signal is applied to the subcarrier generator to generate the phase synchronous color. Subcarrier will give it to the subcarrier. It will produce a subcarrier signal whose frequency was 4.436185 megahertz. Okay. Then the color burst is also applied to the line synchronization identification circuit. Here, as we have seen in the diagram, this is above the subcarrier regenerator, line synchronous identification circuit is there. That particular color burst will be applied to that line synchronous identification circuit. Identification circuit, the output of which controls the phase reverse switch, the identification signal derived from the color burst which is needed to synchronize the phase reversal switch. That is all about the line synchronizers identification circuit. Then the chroma signal is applied to 64 microsecond delay line. Whatever the chroma signal we are having, that chroma signal we will give to the give as output to the two blocks. First, that chroma signal we will give to the 64 microsecond delay line which will produce a chroma signal which is having 64 microseconds delay. Okay, original chroma signal, and in that it will produce a 64 microseconds of delay. That is the delayed chroma signal. And original chroma signal that we will pass through that particular chroma amplifier to the adder. Okay, these are the two signals. Same output of the chroma amplifier we will give at the two different places. At one place we will give it to the adder, and at another place we will give it to the 64 microseconds of delay, so that delay will be produced in the particular chroma signal. The direct and delayed chroma signal are combined in an add at subtract network is also called as delay line matrix. Okay, we have added that and subtracted that, as you can see in the diagram. Here in the diagram, this the after 3 to 5 megahertz chroma amplifier we are having the two outputs. One output is given to the adder and second is given to the 64 microsecond delay line. It is not producing the two output, it is producing only one output, that is chroma signal. But that particular chroma signal we are giving as input to the adder, and we are producing 64 microsecond delay in one chroma signal. After that we are providing these two signal to the adder and subtractor. Okay, you can see after the 64 microsecond delay line, we are having output of the 64 microsecond delay line to the adder and subtractor. There are two blocks, one is adder and one is subtractor. Whatever the delayed signal, whatever the delayed chroma signal we are having, we are providing it as an input to the adder and input to the subtractor. And whatever the another input to that particular adder and subtractor is original chroma signal, which is not having any delay line. That signal means one original chroma signal and one delayed chroma signal we are providing as input to the adder and subtractor block here. Then after they will pass through adder and subtractor, whatever the output we are having at the output of adder and subtractor, this network, this adder and subtractor block will be called as delay line network also. We can call it as delay line network matrix or delay line network. Then after that, passing through the adder and subtractor, whatever the output we are having for adder and subtractor, we are giving it to the U detector and V detector respectively. Whatever the output of adder, that we will give to the U detector, and the output of the subtractor we will give as input to the V detector. The regenerated CSC is applied directly to the U detector, which produces U signal, and the subtractor output and phase alternating CSC signal is applied to the V detector obtained V signal. Means after the U detector we are having EU signal, and after the V detector we are having V signal. Means from the chroma signal we have obtained U signal and V signal, and similarly output of the video detector was Y signal. We have passed that through the video amplifier and delay line. Means we are having three signals now. One is Y signal, U signal and V signal. After passing through the matrix, these two signals, we will get output as R minus Y, G minus Y and B minus Y. Now we will see the detector U and V signals are applied to resistive matrix. Okay, we are applying this to the resistive matrix, which will produce the different signal, color different signal will be produced there, R minus Y and G minus Y and B minus Y. These signals which are applied to the RGB matrix along with the luminance signal Y is produces the RG and B signal. Okay, we are providing this color difference three signals and Y signals to the RGB matrix. At the output of the RGB matrix we are having the three signal, that was the inputs, that were the input signal RG and B signal. Okay, as we have seen in the encoder diagram, whatever the output from the video camera, that was fed as input to that encoder, that were RG and B signals. Here at the output of the PAL decoder at the receiver side, what is the output? We are having RG and B signal. Means ultimately whatever the purpose we were having is satisfied. We have transmitted RGB signal, and same RGB signal we are receiving at the output of the PAL decoder at the receiver side. Sorry, this is nothing but the PAL decoder. Okay, getting the concept of what is PAL encoder and PAL decoder. In the PAL encoder we have given RGB signal, then we have provided delay line, then we have provided different modulator, balanced modulators, we have produces subcarrier frequency, and then after processing or after passing it through the adder section or mixer section, we are getting composite video signal. That composite video signal we are providing as input to the PAL decoder at the receiver side. That there video detector will differentiate, or it will produce separate out the two signals. One signal will be Y signal and second signal will be chroma signal. Y signal will be given to the Y amplifier and we will provide some delay line to that, and the chroma signal we will be providing to the 64 microsecond delay line. Original chroma signal and delayed signal we are passing it through the adder and subtractor block. Whatever the output of adder and subtractor, we will give to the different modulators, U modulator and V modulator. At that output of the U and V modulator we will be having U signal and V signal, but we need a color difference signal. So that color difference signal, by that color difference signal we can found the RG and B signal. So we will pass that signal through the matrix and we will get RG and B signal at the output of this color decoder. This is all about the color encoder and decoder. Now let us see the next point, advantages. What are the advantages of this PAL system we will see now. The phase error causing error is reproduction of color is eliminated here. Bandwidth of U and V is same. Okay, whatever the signal U and V we are using, it is having the same bandwidth, because whenever we are going through that particular transmitter and receiver block, we will see U and V signal are passed simultaneously. We are having these two signals simultaneously, so that its bandwidth is same. This simplifies the filtering action. We do not need to simplify different signal into different that particular amplifier filters. Okay, whatever the same filter we are using for U and V signal. Studio mixing is easy as compared to SECM system. In the SECM system, we will see use of delay line before demodulators isolates U and V signal. Okay, as from each other, reduces the crosstalk type of interference in colors better than NTSC, which results in better picture quality. We have seen here there is a better picture quality. Only the frame rate is slow, but we can have a better picture quality than the NTSC system. Now let us see some of the disadvantages of this PAL system. The electronic circuit and ident signal are necessary in the PAL, which makes the design complex. Okay, as we are using the electronic circuit or switch, the design will be very complex. Then delay line technique reduces the vertical resolution of the chroma signal, because we are providing delay to that particular chroma signal. This is one of the advantage of the PAL system. Okay, getting the concept of PAL encoder and PAL decoder. This PAL is nothing but phase alternating line, which is having more scanning lines than the NTSC system, which is having more clear picture than the NTSC system. Only the drawback is that it is having slow rate of that frames, means slow frame rate for the purpose of sending that frames. This is nothing but the phase alternating line, that is PAL system. In the last lecture we have seen NTSC system, and in this lecture we have covered the PAL, that is phase alternating line system. In the next lecture we will see SECAM system. This is the last system in between the all about the these three system. This is the last system we will see in next lecture. Thank you.